You're gonna find a white piece of paper in your notebook. This is one of those things that I'm gonna go through and check. And you're gonna do thumbnail sketches. This is a thumbnail sketch. It's tiny and it's messy, and that's okay. It's just to get you to see how the objects are gonna relate and fit in your page. So I have viewfinders in a box right above on top of the chalk. You probably saw them already. And you can use this to zero in on 4 different spots on your still life in front of you. So you're not drawing the whole still life. You're going to zoom in on one area. You're gonna draw it really large. And that's what you're gonna do here. You're gonna practice. You're gonna do 4. You do need to do 4 different drawings right here, even if you love the first one that you do. You need to do 4. It's kind of like brainstorming, all right? And then when you're done with these 4, you're gonna raise your hand and I will come around and we're gonna choose the best one in terms of balance and composition, how it's set up. And we're going to choose that one, and that's what you're going to use as a little guide for your big drawing. So you're gonna draw, basically if I were to choose this one, I'd be looking at this and I would know that, I could look at this long edge of this sketch and look at the long edge of my paper and know that that little Play-Doh cup comes to about halfway up the page. So it kind of helps you show how big you're gonna blow it up and everything. I'm gonna get there. I'll show you more about this in just a second. So you're going to, this is the closest still life I have to me. You're gonna zero in on 4 different spots on your still life, and you're not going to zero in so far that you can't tell what it is, because that's really, really boring. And you also don't want to zoom out so that you end up drawing the whole thing. The goal is not to have you draw the whole still life. That'll take you forever. So if you use these viewfinders, if you do this, that's not going to help you because you're just going to see the whole thing. But you can kind of, I have to close one eye to focus, but you can kind of zero in through, I already did this area, so I'm going to do a different one. Oh, that's too much. I'm picking a really hard one right now. But you're gonna zero in, you're gonna find 4 different spots. In each spot, you need to find an area that has at least 4 to 6 objects in it, okay? So that doesn't mean that you pick and choose 4 to 6 objects. You're gonna find an area, you're gonna draw everything in that area, but it has to have at least 4 objects in it, okay? And you probably don't, if you get to more than 6, it's okay, just don't draw the whole thing. You do not need to draw the whole entire still life in each sketch. So you're gonna do 4 different spots. So one thing that I get a lot is kids go, oh, 4 to 6 objects in each and 4 different sketches, okay, and they draw a bottle here and a cup here and an apple here and, and they draw 4 objects total, and that's not it. You're drawing 4 to 6 objects within each sketch. So this one is done, and I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 things in it. 7. All right. So in here, I'm gonna pick another area. I'm gonna draw everything I see in that area. It has to have at least 4 objects. Okay. So you're gonna use your Vine charcoal, and you're just gonna take, and if I were to do this on my sheet, you can decide if you want them to be horizontal, if you want them to be vertical. That's up to you. But they don't have to be. You don't have to take a ruler unless you really want to. Some people want really straight lines, but they don't have to be. And you're just gonna do 4 sketches. And you're just gonna give yourself 4 little boxes. If you wanna do some that are horizontal, great. You don't have to if you don't want to. I would definitely use rectangles. Your paper is a rectangle, so if you're sketching out like a square, it's not gonna be the same proportions that your paper has. So you're just gonna literally, it's that easy to set it up. And that's that. Then you are going to just pick an area and you're going to draw your objects in there. So I'm going to try to do this one real quick without going crazy. And I just use the viewfinder. You can line up the long edge of your viewfinder with the long edge of your sketch. So you can see when you're looking at objects through here, you can see, oh, the bottle lines up about right here in the viewfinder, so I know it's got to line up about right here on the sketch. All right, and that's just a little tool, a sighting tool that you can use. All right, so I'm gonna draw this cup right here. And it doesn't have to be specific. It's gonna be sketchy like this, and that's okay. And if it helps you to draw through, to draw your cylinders, that's all right, or whatever your form is, that's okay. But you need to start real basic. Don't worry about the exact, this isn't supposed to be complete finished drawings. These are supposed to be sketches. They're thumbnail sketches. They're quick, they're little, and they're just guidelines. They're not meant to take a super long time. And this is where it's going to be really important for you to sit in the same spot every day, because you need to see everything from the same angle when you come back to it. And I'm kind of shading them in as I go, because I think if there's a dark shadow that I think really stands out and helps me kind of organize the rest of it, then I might just do that from the beginning, and that's okay. So I have 4 things in here, but I can't be done because there's more in that area. So I need to draw everything. Since I picked that spot, I need to draw everything in that spot. Even the background stuff, like there's a box back there, all that fun stuff. Like I said, I kind of picked a complicated one here. That's all right. But you don't need to use anything but fine charcoal. You don't need to use the compressed chalk. You don't need to use you don't need to use the charcoal pencils. There's a lot of stuff in the background. Because they're just sketches. It's just meant to show you how the page is set up, how it's balanced out. So then you're going to sketch everything out proportionately, and then you're going to go through with a dark shadow and a medium shadow throughout the whole thing, just like you did for your practice object. So you're going to just quickly sketch in those darker shadows that are going to tell you that the values are balanced throughout also. If you have everything, if you pick an area that's all kind of the same gray, it's going to be really boring to look at. And really hard to draw. You want to find areas of high contrast so that it's more easy for you to draw. It can be really hard to draw things that are all the same gray and make them look like different objects separate from each other. Things tend to look really, what's the word I'm looking for? Kind of muddy, and it's kind of hard to tell one thing from another when they're all the same gray. And even this thing, those of you that can see it, it's got lots and lots and lots of little intricate details I don't need to worry about yet. I'm going to keep it really simple because all I'm trying to do is figure out the basic form of it all. So I'm not too worried about it, about any of the details. And I don't have enough room to do the details. It's really, you know, this chalk, I have my hands pretty stubby. I just don't have room to work with stuff like that. But I do want to see that everything is balanced out. And we're looking okay. And that would be okay. That's pretty balanced in terms of black and white. You don't want to pick, like I said, when you're picking these areas, I'm going to come around, I'm going to help you, but like if they were, for those of you who can see this far, if they were to pick this area right here, it's all the same gray. It's not going to work. It's going to be really boring. It's going to be really hard for them to tell, to show visually one object from the other, because they're all going to be the same gray. So you want to pick and choose carefully, pick 4 different spots. Again, you do have to pick 4 different spots. You do have to finish 4 different drawings. And then when you're done, raise your hand and I will choose one with you, and then you're going to start. You're going to start with your vine charcoal. You're going to sketch out the objects just like we just did. just like the thumbnails. You're gonna sketch with the Vine charcoal really, really lightly. Do not use pencil. It will show through. Don't use the charcoal pencil just because it's a pencil, because that won't erase. Okay, that will not erase, and when you're trying to add white to that spot later, you'll have a big black line through it. So make sure you're using Vine charcoal to sketch. And you're gonna sketch out all your proportions. And that, I mean, I'd be really surprised if we got past that today. Okay? All right, don't forget